Yeah, come down. I'll be up for till 3:30, and then I gotta go to bed. I got inventory. Dude, it's starting to get really good. So every so often we have friends to each other's houses, and we bring a bunch of classic wines. And last night we kind of tried to figure out the difference between Gruner, Albarino, and Pinot Grigio. So we kind of put the spit cups away for once in a while and had a couple glasses of wine, which is good until you wake up the next morning and have to go to work. But
feel the texture of the wine too. It's so much rounder, fuller.
I would have to go Pinot Grigio. Now that tasting a little bit more, it's bitter and it finishes with this kind of like yellow bitter melon like green edge to it that didn't happen on either the Gruner or the Albarino.
Smells like oven
tasting. You know, first night in a couple weeks that I've actually consumed alcohol, and definitely feel it today. This is so good.
Thanks,
God, this wine is so good. God, that wine is so good. You know, but it's about time to get back on the serious mode, and you know, it's just good to relax and hang out with the boys occasionally and drink a little bit of good wine, you know.
You got their mitten back on now.
Oh, it's an interview.
I think it's important to not only, you know, obviously practice the 4-minute sprint or the 25-minute sprint through the 6 wines, but to, you know, go for the stroll and just relax and have some fun and drink a couple glasses, which I haven't done for a while. So it's you know, and just to hang out with your friends and take the stress off a little bit.
This is gonna be great.
Vonka cookie.
You smell like chocolate. My body definitely feels it this morning that I had a couple glasses. But you know, when there's, you know, Grand Cru Burgundy open and, you know, some of the best wines of the world, I mean, it's kind of hard to say no. So, did you guys taste it yet? This is like oily, concentrated, extracted, dehydrated Grand Cru juice.
Water hipster.
I don't really call that. You always put those. I've never said rose hips. You put that in my mouth. I never said.
I didn't say rose hips. I said hip stem water radish desiccation.
I never say that. I say tennis balls.
Freshly cut, or you say crushed hillside.
Freshly cut tennis balls. No.
Like charcuterie of tennis balls after they've been cured. Cured.
No, I say charcuterie wrapped tennis balls.
Doesn't make any sense.
I know, I don't
Crushed
say that.
hillside?
No, yeah, I say that. Crushed
I don't
hillside.
understand crushed hillside.
Like if you fall down on a hike and you put your face on the hill.
When I fall down on a hike, I don't think about what I'm smelling.
I'm just trying to make
Do you think when you fall on a hillside, do you think, oh my gosh, this smells like I just fell on a hillside?
No, I'm just saying.
And it's crushed.
No,
It's
if
like,
I put my hand down and I smell my hand or something, then that smells like crushed hillside. You know what, to tell you the truth, it's from other people that have tasted with me. I'm like, yeah, it does smell like crushed hillside. Let me use that. That's when I go from, you know?
So as long as other people give you validation, you'll keep the descriptor.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know. A lot of the things you say is just your brain tells you what to say, and you say it. You don't really think why you say it. It's just your memory reference, you know, to certain descriptors.
When you fall on a hill, specifically, I don't know what's crushed. Is it the hill that's crushed, or your hand got crushed?
I think it's the crushed minerals on my hand.
Okay, so you're dealing with crushed soil on a hill. You're on a hillside, you fall. You smell your hand, that's crushed hillside. And Ian must have fallen a lot and smelled sand quite a few times. Yes, because that stuck in his head, and he smells crushed hillside and wine.
But I could say crushed rock. You could say, you know.
Yeah, you could say crushed rock, but hillside, for whatever reason, you connect with. And you got to respect it. You connect with it. You got to draw from experience. But it's baffling.
I think, you know, that's basically why we say anything. It smells like strawberries, because you think it smells like strawberries, because your memory tells you that, you know. But it's pretty funny when somebody asks you why you say that.
Do you get crushed hillside in this wine?
No, I get more like limestone.
Are there wines that you normally get crushed hillside on? I know what you get tennis ball on. It's always Clear Valley. But crushed hillside, what do you get on?
Like Hermitage, like this, like super organic decomposing earth, and like Côte Rôtie, Cornas. It's more of like a taste memory, and when I smell that wine, and usually I come pretty close to it.
Do some hillsides that are crushed smell different than others?
Yes, but I can't differentiate.
So the earth on the hillside is crushed, not the hillside itself.
Both.
The hillside is crushed also.
Yes, that's the earth is the hillside.
I think of the hillside as the entire hillside. And I think of the earth on the hillside as being something that's on the hillside. And you're saying that the hillside is crushed as well as the earth on the hillside.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know what that means.
It means that there's rocks on the hillside that are crushed, and that's the aromas that I associate with certain wines. It's just earth. It's just crushed rocks.
Okay, so it's the rocks. It's not the hillside itself.
But rocks are on a hillside, and hillsides are made of rocks.
Right.
Does that make sense?
I guess.
What are hillsides made of? Sand? Clay? No. Rocks? Yeah, maybe. A lot of things. If you took some and you crushed it up and you smelt it, what does it smell like? That's what...
Crushed hillside.
Yeah. You know, the most difficult part about the test is you can go in there and they can ask you 100 questions in a row that you know, but, you know, they could easily write a test that you know 0 of the 100 questions. So, I mean, there's no way to know everything in the world, but you just have to focus as much as you can and try to put as much stuff in your brain from as many parts of the world that's classic information, and hoping that, you know, not more than 25% of the questions are, you know, curveballs and, you know, are very difficult to remember. Nice call.
Ian was very wrong.
A DJ.
Wrong.
Should I leave?
Right? Wrong.
It's your house. I mean, that'd be kind of weird.
And I nailed it 2 weeks ago. Didn't you bring the same thing to my?
Is that what?
This is my one.
You blind tasted me on.
On this?
I thought so.
I've never seen this label, but sure.
Let me let's taste some more of it.
Thundercats are on the move. Thundercats are loose.
Most important thing when you're wrong is, I think, understanding why you're wrong and learning from it. I don't mind being wrong. I just don't want to be wrong in 3 weeks from now. Kind of like, you know, Willie Scherer once told me like this, like, you know, if you're training for the Olympics and you're a sprinter, you know, what we're doing, you know, you take a glass of wine, you have 4 minutes and you have to basically sprint. It's important to, you know, to go for jogs occasionally. You know, going for jogs is just having a sip of wine, talking about it, and you're talking about the theory of tasting and why we're going to a certain direction. And you might have a wine for 10 or 12 minutes in your glass and taste it and have a glass of it and really feel the structure and talk about other people's opinion of the wine. So we'll say, okay, why isn't this Albarino? Okay, why is this Pinot Grigio and not Gruner Albarino? And we'll all talk about it without knowing what the wine is, and totally, you know, taste it, you know, really feel the texture of it and the bitterness and where it hits certain parts of your palate. So that way, hopefully in 2 weeks, like, our taste memory will bring us back to this night and say, okay, I remember when Dustin taught me that, you know, even though this wine was super rich and had botrytis on the nose, it's still Gruner Veltliner, because after the sweetness goes away on the palate, this really richness, then you still have that pepper quality, which nothing else has, that spicy quality of Gruner Veltliner. So
It's so obvious when you taste them side by side.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you distinguish it? What's the quickest way to get there if you're not tasting them next to each other? It's like they're obviously very different, but
Right.
how do you, like, if you're in the triangle and you have like a white berg next to this, next to Chenin, you know, and you don't have the obvious clues in front of you, like, how do you, what's the way to, what are your checkpoints? You need to come up with like some checkpoints.
Well, the reality is, if you don't get the spice in this,
this is spicy.
if you don't get the spice in this, you're kind of screwed unless you can find the veg.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I mean, it's like if you don't get it, you don't get it. You know. I mean, it's there. I mean, this is like lentil, radish, white pepper on the nose. I mean, it's just jumps.
It's all about detecting the secondaries. What's the most important secondary for Albarino?
I think it's more of just the fruit character in general. I don't think it's a secondary.
That lack of bitterness. Well, I mean, there's still bitterness. It's just
I think it's the fruit character, man. It's just
more dominated by tangerine and orange and peach. Nothing else in my life has been this difficult. But I don't really find it difficult because I love it. It's not like I'm, it's not like, studying divorce law. It's like my passion. Luckily my profession is my passion, and I love nothing else more in the world in terms of, an object more than wine and the history and the lifestyle and everything. So, for me, it's it's just a blessing, to be able to, have the court of Master Sommeliers and have the camaraderie that I have in my life with my friends is probably, the coolest gift that you could have, I just don't want to take this exam again. I want this to be it. I'm ready to put down the flashcards, and if it doesn't happen, I'll go right back at it. But I really hope that this is it. I hope this is the year. I've never worked harder at anything, coming up to this. So every moment of my life has been, waking up, how am I going to prepare for this exam? Before I go to bed, I'm going to stay an extra 3 hours up and sleep less to prepare for this exam.
Exactly 3 weeks from today is tasting.
You know what the great thing about swirling with a mitt on is if a falcon lands in your hand, you're ready.
The falconer? Are you talking about Federspiel?
Oh my God, you guys are dorks.
Yeah, I'm definitely have a shorter fuse, that's for sure. I think some of my friends have felt that. Stuff that's normally I'd probably laugh at, I get pissed at them for, But, practical jokes gone wrong last week, it's pretty funny, but it wasn't at the time.